The recent fluctuations in Nigerian Naira exchange rate and putting a strain on businesses across the country, raising operational costs and shrinking profit margins. Compared to Q3 2023, the Naira's depreciation to about 1,900 Naira at some point, from 700 Naira to $1 in Q1 2024, impacted businesses in several key areas. Now, the cost of raw materials and machinery, often imported, rose significantly, and some companies are exploring local substitutes or adopting more economical packaging solutions. And also, the cost of international freight has increased due to the exchange rate, forcing businesses to look for ways to explore alternative shipping routes. So this morning, Adeola Oluwatemiloran, CEO Volatility Foods, joins me live in our studios to help us understand how this is affecting Nigerians and those who own businesses in the country. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you too for having me. Thank you for having me.
So as a vendor of both raw and processed consumables, how did the exchange rates fluctuation affect both import and export of commodities, most especially when the Naira rose on a steady to a peak of about 1,900 Naira to $1?
Concerning import, it has affected us a lot because of the imports we do on, like, for example, stockfish. Stockfish is brought into Nigeria from Norway. So the exchange rate that made it, if we had been able to import 2 containers before, at the moment now, the only thing that you can import is maybe half a container or mostly one container. So it has affected us drastically. And the prices has gone really up. Like a year, 2 years back, we used to sell stockfish for, I think, 6,000, 9,000 Naira per kg. Now it's about 24,000 Naira per kg. And now it has somewhat found its way into the luxury aspect. So everybody cannot afford that again. And then concerning exports, international freight has really gone up, thereby affecting the rate at which we used to export compared to a year back, compared to now. So it has affected both imports on my side and also export on my side.
So in times where you would have to probably reduce the quantity of what you have to import, most especially for the local markets, how bearable or unbearable is the situation, and what is the disposition of your customers when they see that probably in some times would have to reduce the quantity just to make up for losses at probably profits, if possible, in some instances?
Well, first of all, demand has really dropped. Demand for imported product has really dropped. Like I said earlier on, for stockfish, let's say we used to sell like 2 containers in 2 months before. Now we have 1 container still in stock for about 3 months because of the high cost. And we can't reduce quality because it is an imported product. We can't reduce quality, we can't reduce quantity as well. So we just increase price. So people that can still afford, still buy. People that are traveling out of the country or outside the country, maybe they have their relatives coming over to still buy. But really, demand has really dropped.
And so we understand that some people at this point will look for cheaper options. So how do you try to still stay in the market? Because I know you have competitors, and if they have to shift their focus to other people that probably would have them shed a little sum, littler than what they would pay you. How do you manage that kind of situation where you lose your customer base?
Like at Volatility Foods now, about 3-4 years back, our major product was like stockfish, but because of the increase in dollar naira rate in recent times, so I had to look into our local indigenous fishes that are not too known. So we go to the fishermen, get fishes from them. As long as I can give you options. This is stockfish. This is our local fish, OJ fish. This is Palamo fish. So people have a lot of options. We have a lot of cheaper options, and they also the panla that is imported into Nigeria, to panla fish, Titus, Kote fish that is imported into Nigeria as well. The price has really gone up. So we have to give different options, a lot of options, so that you can, at least no matter how small the money you have, you can always have something to buy from us.
It's quite interesting that you keep mentioning the fact that the prices have gone up, which of course would be realistic because you're a business owner. But then we've seen the Nigerian Naira appreciate to about 1,400 Naira, 1,500 Naira, both at the official window and the parallel market. So don't you think that at this time there should be a reduction in what is to be paid in terms of freight costs at the ports, at the terminals? Don't you think the fees and what is to be paid for imported goods should reduce?
Yeah, if it keeps going down like that, then definitely prices are going to come down. But for we that we import, like I've imported a container of stockfish like when the dollar was around 1,900 and it is now at 1,400, I would still want to sell off. Then when I'm doing my next import, then I can now bring prices up. But for now, if prices keeps coming down, we have no option than to also bring down. And also, freight prices are not coming down. DHL and the rest of them, nobody is coming down with freight prices because the customs, they are not bringing, they keep increasing clearing rates on a daily basis, so it doesn't come down for export. But if the naira, the dollar rate comes down, then we can now reduce price as well.
Okay, so there's this part I'd like to get clarification from you. Now, according to what we understand, it's been said that if the naira is weak, food merchandise will be cheaper to sell overseas, but that will make it more expensive to buy some commodities for the local market. So I'd like you to just help us understand how true is that and how it works.
Yeah, it's really true. It's really true because the food that you can just afford to buy normally has become a luxury product. And people that are abroad that are earning in pounds and in dollar, they can afford because dollar to naira or pounds to naira is now 2,000 naira, so they can afford to buy it. So when they want to export, they export all the luxury products out, and we are left with nothing else than to surface whatever we have on ground here. So that's why it's going to keep going up.
Oh, okay. All right. So many are actually urging a focus on boosting domestic production and reducing reliance on imports. Of course, you are the one who goes out into the markets looking for alternative sources whereby you can have merchandise that the consumers can purchase. Do you think that will go a long way in reducing the demand for the dollar, probably reducing the pressure on the naira?
Yeah, it's going to really, really help the naira appreciate more. If the government can at least, our fishing department, I don't know what it's called, they can look into the fishermen, make it more commercialized, and where we can have fishes all year round, we can have crayfish all year round, then there will be no need for us going to Norway to bring in fish again to Nigeria because we have enough water, enough fishermen. It's just that they don't have the government backup and they don't have the facilities to be able to have fishes and crayfish and crustaceans all year round.
Okay, Adeola Oluwatemiloran, CEO of Today Foods. It was nice talking to you. Thank you so much.
Same here.